Alright, in theory, we're live, and then we get to see if anything screws up.
Yeah.
And then I have a couple minutes to actually address it.
You know, that's cool. That's cool.
But hopefully everyone can hear us. The mics are being picked up. I tested the game audio earlier. That should be working.
There we go. Now it's coming along. All right.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Yeah. Hey guys. Hi.
Greetings.
Hello.
Stay a while and listen. So we've got
What's kicking chickens?
Barb and Penn in the chat already. Audio is good.
Sweet.
How is everyone doing today? It's not Thursday. Holy crap, I wish it were Thursday. I am so used to streaming on Thursdays, and we've been doing this for months.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, happy hump day.
That's actually one thing I dislike about streaming on Wednesdays. Because it used to be streaming on Thursdays. It's like, I got one more day I got to get through of work, and then it's the weekend. Now it's like, I got one more day of work, followed
and then
by one more day
another day of work.
Like, God, why do I do this to myself?
What's up, Zerk?
Why must I hurt myself? So we're going to be playing, well, I'm going to be playing the DioField Chronicles, because this is a single-player RPG, but it's an interesting one, and so this is Square Enix continuing their trend of weird-ass game titles. So you had Octopath Traveler, Project Triangle Strategy, and now DioField Chronicle. This, however, is not like the first two games, which were what they like to call HD 2D sprites, which were,
Right.
Very in-depth sprite work. This is actually 3D, but it's also a tactical game, but in real time. So kind of like old school Warcraft and Command and Conquer.
Okay.
But very sword and sorcery. And so I've been dicking around with this, and I kind of wanted to do like a thoughts and impressions video, but a lot of people have. The demo itself is 3 hours long. They did not skimp on the demo on this. It's basically the entirety of the first chapter of the game.
Oh, wow.
They're like, we want you to play this game and give as much feedback as possible. And so far, my only concerns are RTS games are so much fun. God, I can't tell you how many hours I used to play Warcraft 2 or Command & Conquer with Chris. Like, days worth of time. But on a console, it's a little more difficult because you don't have a mouse.
Yeah.
Controller's not super suited for this. Have you been the caretaker at the Overlook recently? Your name? Octopath is fun. Got a whole week of work. I get Mondays and Tuesdays off. Oh God, I'm so looking forward to Labor Day. How far away is Labor Day?
It's next weekend.
So close. So close.
And then Libet and I are going to the beach on Tuesday, and then I may or may not be going to that concert on Wednesday. It'll be an interesting week next week.
Next week, I have a 3-day weekend this weekend. Oh my God, you have no idea how happy I am to make this realization. Oh, if I believed in a deity, I would thank them.
You can thank labor unions.
I will.
And then you can thank people being all, oh no, commies, which is why we don't have Labor Day on May Day. Yank, yank.
That's what I wanted to do. Like, I can tell them all to do a thing. I don't... It's been a couple of days since I've played it, so I'm not 100% sure on the controls. I should probably actually read them again.
Oh, and take this as well.
Certainly. Please, seek shelter and leave the fighting to us.
And then you just... I want people with axes just to appear.
Everything's going according to plan. You remember the next steps, Rios?
Of course. Good.
So I appreciated the whole, like, I think I saw on Facebook talking about how their chosen name was their illegal name because, you know. And I'm extra excited about it because my illegal name is Jesse James, so it has the extra oomph of, like, a historical outlaw.
Very well. Understood.
Sneak behind. I was going to sneak behind.
That's the
I can sneak with a horse.
most ridiculous sneak attack I've ever seen ever. That's not how sneaking works.
That's how sneak works. I am a very large man wearing full plate armor on a armored horse.
Sneak.
Sneak.
Roll for stealth.
Alright, I gotta pick up.
Let's get going.
Alright, let's see. Let's do that. And then we're gonna do this, and we're gonna come up here. But we're gonna attack by coming up from behind him. We use the horse as a distraction this time instead of the sneak. I'm unemployed, so Labor Day doesn't mean anything except that Mom's home too. So our outlaws have lower class English accents, and our protagonists have high class. So,
yeah.
this being a Square Enix game, all of the names are impronounceable because they like to throw in way too many consonants without a vowel. They also did full voice acting, but they only had British voice actors.
Meh. That's fine.
There are even more of them still.
Let's find ways to hit as many of them as we can.
Frederick.
at once. Does that sound doable, Rios?
Andreas. He has the skill assassination. My skill is I just murder.
Then let's
I
get this over.
mean, it is a skill.
It is.
Understood.
There's a whole lot of questions about a whole lot of things around it, but it is a skill.
Y
Go.
and attack you.
Very well.
Draw his ire
Call that an attack.
and you. Assassinate him.
Be gone with you.
That's not what an assassination looks like.
Here it goes.
That is what a shield bash looks like.
You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like.
This is what peak performance looks like. I didn't say it was good performance, just peak.
do 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 do.
Let's get going.
Looking for a thing.
On my way.
Alright, so you got two more of these guys. Let's
Very well.
you come down here. You
Oh, come on.
On my way.
come over here. No. Come over here. No, not you. You. Now we're gonna run them all over with a horse.
Push forward.
And assassin.
Okay. It's been
Those
driving me
accents were
nuts.
chosen with care. Yes, yes, they were. Oop.
Don't mind me. Just gonna startle myself. That's
Here goes.
typical. Anxiety's been through the roof. Oh, we haven't seen you guys since I finished my project. Woo!
Barely stand.
I suppose it's too much hope they put as much thought into it as the people who dubbed Cinderblade. Probably not.
Hey, that orb.
Does that mean we can use it, perhaps?
My orb is glowing. Don't you just love it when I get glowy balls?
Let's see what it can do.
My toilet paper gauge is full in 3 stages. Megalumic orbs are what word is that?
I think it's Magilumic because it's magic.
They're making up.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course they're making. What do you want them to do? Fucking D&D's copyrighted so many things. They have to get creative.
Oh my god, I
Understood.
hate that so much. Alright, we're gonna summon Bahamut because we too can summon angry dragons. But yeah, like
The Platinum Dragon.
working on a card game, what pisses me off so much is Wizards of the Coast, who owns Dungeons and Dragons now. Like
Yeah.
they own basically they're trying to own the fantasy setting. They have trademarked tapping. So if you if you change a card's orientation to show that it is currently available for play or not in play, and like they are super litigious about it. Like they will go after. It's not showing that it's in play. It's just showing it's denoting a state. Like I remember they tried going after Pokemon because for a while, like you had to turn it upside down for certain status effects or things like that to show that. And then, like they went after that. They went after Score for a couple of their cards. Like super fucking litigious. Like Jesus. I have had to be so fucking cognizant of game design. Like, when I first started looking through this, like, well, not first, but like about 10 years ago, when I started looking into actually trying to make it publishable, I scoured as many of their patent documents as I could, as much of their trademark filings, to be like, okay, am I fucked?
I mean, there is something to be said for, I don't like the term property, intellectual property, but like your own original content, your ideas, and being credited for them. That's important. But you're litigating a movement.
Yeah.
Andreas
And
and his
that's-
fellow Central Field mercenaries
Fact.
come to the rescue of a government official. Lorraine
Like,
Lux.
I've talked about this a lot on the channel, because I'm very torn on it because, as a Let's Player,
Here we are.
I am basically using other people's intellectual property
Look at this. It's amazing.
as entertainment. But,
The Duke is said
there
to be
are a lot
connoisseur
of
foreign
comedians and
art.
entertainers that do the same thing,
With
like
especially
the entire political satire genre of like The Daily
Just a
Show.
ragtag band of sellswords
But
after all.
All of anything.
yes,
It's
so
everything is just taking what's there and building on it.
they're litigating anything they possibly can litigate because they want to corrupt. Exactly, they don't want the competition, which is so weird. Why is that?
It's suction because it's slightly concave, and then
Oh.
it gets damp and it sticks to the coaster.
I trust in your ability.
See,
My welcome to the shit show coaster.
what I love about that is they want to crush all the competition. But let's face it, I played Magic since the beginning. I haven't played recently. I do have a deck that I found. I found it in a box. It's not mine. I found it in a box. That's all I'm going to say about that.
It was a deck in a box.
I didn't have Andy Samberg here, though. But one thing that I will say
My deck in a
is
box.
Magic took a huge nosedive for years. Like, it was still, like, the only card game for a long time. But, like, people like, the average person did not care about it. Only really the hardcore player. Or, like, I say the average person, I should say the average nerd stopped caring about it. Like, I remember high school thinking, okay, Magic's kind of running its course. And then the end of high school is when the Pokemon CCG came out and when Yu-Gi-Oh came out. And both of those fucking exploded. And then Magic was like, oh shit. There's these two things just eating into our market share. We should, I don't know, stop treating this game like garbage. And they actually started putting more into it. And then Magic had a huge resurgence. From the outside perspective, like there's a lot of people who are like, it never went anywhere. I'm like, fuck off. I'm talking about people who don't follow it super closely. And you know, the same thing happened with Sega and Nintendo back in the 90s. Nintendo thought they were, because they had such a fucking stranglehold on everything, that no one could come in and take out their market share. And then Sega just comes in with an angry blue hedgehog and just starts stealing market share. Nintendo's like, shit, we gotta do something. Like, that is one thing I will say I don't like it about capitalism, because it gets attributed to capitalism and it's not.
I swear to God, if you sit there and you're like, capitalism breeds innovation, I might punch you in the face.
No. Capitalism doesn't breed innovation. Rivalry breeds innovation.
Lots of things breed innovation.
Yeah, I mean, I remember...
It's only a rivalry because of capitalism.
Well, yeah. Well, so I remember when I was studying martial arts, I studied at one school locally, and one of my friends in high school studied at another. And he and I were very close in rank. We were the same age. We had a lot of the same interests. And when he found out that I was a couple of steps ahead of him...
He decided to come up to you and sweep the leg?
No. But he did want to spar me a lot, and he wanted to learn. And I learned a lot sparring against him because a different school has different teaching practices. Mm-hmm. So you have different styles. And, you know, that was something that, like, we learned. Like, I talk about it in therapy a lot, and Sarah loves... Anytime I bring up my martial arts, because she's like, you've learned so much from this. If only I could recommend this to other, like seriously, I learned that a healthy rivalry, because it was based out of mutual respect. Like, he and I were not angry or bitter towards each other. It wasn't like the anime anti-hero rival of like Goku and Vegeta. I have to beat you to prove my own self-worth. Or did you see the
fucking Bakugo?
Yes, the parody of My Hero. It's like, because my concept of justice is strength, and anyone who opposes it, I feel like is a personal attack on me. Wow, you want to talk about it? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I
You will sure come to think of
Very well.
just, yeah, it was a thing.
I think, honestly, I think softball is the only place where I've had, like, the competition out of mutual respect experience, because everything else has been framed as adversarial. Like, and even playing softball, I mean, there's a degree of it being adversarial, I mean. But, like, it would get nasty. And it might not have even been, like... My grandmother bred rivalries between us grandkids. Like,
That's just messed up.
And she made it nasty. Like, at one point, she, her sister was in town, so my great aunt was in town.
Anyway.
And, she was bragging about my being being the lead in a musical, and Becky was also in the same musical. We were standing there next to each other, and meanwhile I was like, sing a song from the show, and so we started singing, and she said, Becky, shut up, I need Mary Lee to hear Jess. Like, yeah. And even in school, like, my academic rivals that often got put in an adversarial whatever, it's just, yeah, softball's really the only place I had, like, a healthy competition.
That is messed up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry, guys, I'm in therapy.
I do kind of like the character designs. That's a neat... I mean, that is a kind of silly shoulder.
Yeah.
I like the shopkeeper, who basically looks like an assassin.
Yeah. This is just his day job. It's his cover.
Are you sick?
However,
Skipping the story. Don't care.
No, this is not Andreas or whatever his name is. This is Brienne of Tarth now. I like that better.
One thing I love, so
we need more Brienne representation in this world, damn it.
We can bring up the map, and instead of actually having to walk anywhere, like I can
just
walk.
click on the place and bamf there.
Yeah. Alright, I spoke too soon when I said ridiculous armor. That is...
That's... wow.
I swear to God, I'm beginning to wonder if my entire family are unicorns. I'm the only person I know whose family does not seem to be 9 kinds of screwed up. My family is not screwed up. My family's just weird. Like, I love my family. Like,
okay.
They are just...
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't say they are screwed up. Just, they are weird. Like, my dad's just...
Your dad's a...
My dad is a wonderful...
Your dad is you, older.
No, my dad is weirder than me older.
No. No.
Don't say that. I have to pretend like I have some semblance of sanity that he doesn't have.
things are going rather well.
I've always joked that he's one lab accident away from being a supervillain, and his lab caught fire several times.
Yeah. Avoid that, and you might hold on to that shred of sanity.
This is a big step forward.
But yeah, no, my family is genuinely
May we
messed up. It's a wonder Cass and I turned out as well adjusted as we did.
You know, looking at... Like, I know several other families that are, pretty.
Even my mom, when it was just me and Mom and Cass, like I love my mom very, very much, but she was
The unrest. The common bandit, Trovelt Shovia, sees his
a
opportunity.
deeply traumatized person who it took a very long time for her to like seek help to work through that trauma, and it came out in other ways that were not healthy for our family.
Hi, say hi to the internet. Or jump down like a bastard.
You dick. Are you a dick in a box?
Right.
I mean, I don't even. Wait, where am I? Oh, okay, yeah. I'm way not where I need to be.
As expected. And if
Mission unlocked. And I get to go beat people. With my horse person. With stealth. Now, okay. So, I was talking to Wolfos. And we were discussing the character designs for my game. Wolfos loves centaurs. That's one of the things that loved about Shining Force. Is one of the few games that centaurs are a main race.
Okay.
Because, you get like a Final Fantasy, a Phantasy Star. There's like it's all humans, elves, maybe some dwarves. Like, you don't get a wide variety of different races. But Shining Force had freaking centaurs. That's because it's a tactical game. So, like, they just did that instead of having just normal people on horses for mounted units.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, neat. And one of Wolfos' favorite characters was May, who is a archer, but a centaur.
Okay.
And so I was talking about, like, what would your character be, like, in my card game setting? Because it's based off of a tabletop RPG, so I'm like, we have weird races, weird takes on races. And Wolf was like, I would totally want to, like, because I was asking, it's like, would you want to be a centaur, or, like, I don't have anything that kind of fits your general personality thing. Wolf was like, yeah, centaur. I'm like, what job would you be? Monk. And I'm like, God, I love it.
Yes.
Because it's just
I'm
like,
a fan.
That's not a job class you ever saw. I'm like, no, I could totally see it, because, like, you could get, like, large gauntlets for the upper arms. You could get armored hooves. Attacks of opportunity would be amazing for a centaur monk.
Flurry of blows. Kicking with your back heels.
Rearing up, kicking, dropping down, punching. Do a back kick to get anyone who's behind. Like, there are so many good ideas for this.
That's a great job class for
Right?
a centaur, actually.
Like,
I
I'm
love it.
going, that is awesome. And so now that's one of the weird characters that I've got to come up with that I'm going to do. It's like, yeah, I'm totally making a centaur monk.
That's awesome. I like it.
Monk dedicated to the goddess Epona. I mean, I remember I have the games on the Switch, Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale and all that old school D&D PC games. Mm-hmm. I remember Sanchez used to play them a ton in high school, and would come up with the most broken class combinations and prestige classes to just break the game. Like, Sanchez had beaten the game like 10 times over, and was just like trying to figure out the fastest way to dick around with, like, not even necessarily win, but just dick around with the AI, just to kind of like see what the AI was going to not do in certain situations. Like, I've got a dragonborn monk with,
Get your bow ready, Ascari.
like,
Your famous archery skills are
he can punch a hole through an iron door. What's the AI gonna do? Apparently not rush him. Like, I loved it.
as expected.
Sounds very much.
Sounds good.
Alright, so now I have a a ranged
Hold
unit.
on. There's a drawbridge over there.
It's been raised.
Also, the weirdest drawbridge configuration.
Yeah,
We
that
should be able to lower the bridge.
doesn't make...
Let's make it our priority.
Okay, it makes defensive sense, I guess, but if it function as a drawbridge... Eh.
Go.
Let's say, I felt like someone was going to walk towards me. Yeah.
Very well.
No.
It's called a lance. Duh.
Yeah, I mean,
One of these days I will actually get over my whatever it is and I will watch A Knight's Tale again. I literally have not watched it since Heath Ledger died.
I've watched it since, mostly because the prince is in Sex Education.
Next time.
He's in a lot of things.
He's in a lot of things.
As a serial killer / cult leader in The Following.
Yes,
that
was
is
Let's get going.
something else. I was actually watching the two.
Got it.
There was that one, and there something else that he just happened to appear in simultaneously, and I can't remember what it is. And I was like, it's Prince Edward.
I do love Prince Edward in that movie. Like that was great. I own almost every Lego game that I would care to. I mean, I have Marvel Superheroes, which I kind of want to play at some point, but like, not
Very well.
super invested in.
It's been secured.
It's been secured. Yeah, that is a weird drawbridge.
I've got it. Understood.
Move them all together. Say it. It's telling me about treasure chests because there is a treasure chest.
Hey, I have a kitty.
I've got it.
It's a Rowan.
It's a void kitty.
Understood.
What you doing, bub? You're trying not to purr.
I'm just gonna rain arrows down on these guys because I can.
There you go.
Very well.
Pretty kitty. Pretty kitty.
And charge.
Not done yet.
Hey,
And everyone's just gonna beat up on him.
you've just been asleep all day and now it's like, oh my god, I need attention.
Ones that I don't care about are Lego Movie 1 and 2, Lego Worlds Dimensions, too expensive. Lego Force Awakens.
On my way.
Got it.
I've never played a single Lego game. I've also never seen a Lego movie.
The Lego Movie is not bad. It's got some interesting moments.
Look what I found.
Then again, there are a lot of games that I have not played.
Got it.
Most games, in fact. I have not played most games.
Understood.
And
Got it.
sneaky sneak.
Got it. Push forward.
That is not
Full
sneak.
frontal.
Hi, Rowan. How are you, kitty boy? You were being super snuggly with me earlier. You wanted all the attention.
We're not done yet.
On my way.
Yeah.
Understood.
Look like kitty boy.
Alright, let's break a barricade. Look at you, just such a lovely void cat.
I'm officially into the project for Emily, although I can only get so far because no one will email me back.
Very well.
So that's cool.
Push forward.
I mean, if no one's going to email you back, there's only so much you can do.
Yep. But it also impacts my ability to get paid.
This is true.
I'll take you down.
It's a problem with freelancing.
Yeah.
But I went ahead and I spent a solid 2.5 hours working in Photoshop today. It was nice. I haven't done anything in Photoshop for a hot minute. Missed it.
Yet another foe defeated.
Let's get going.
Understood.
That's...
Here I go.
Furious Fury. I don't think that's the name of it, but that's what I'm going to call it. Make a better door than window. I mean, he is the Void Cat, so like,
Yeah.
Well,
like all light just enters. And
Got it.
Sweet boy. Neither of them came downstairs to snuggle with me last night. It was disappointing.
Let's get going.
No kitty snuggles for JJ.
oh, look at you! You're just so lovely.
capture successful.
Why can't your brother be just as lovely? Where is your brother? Where'd he go?
Being a dick in a box, probably.
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 Dogs here for.
He must be the leader of those.
Indeed. We'll be done with these scoundrels before the break of day.
Understood.
Alright, let's... No.
Understood.
Da-da-da-da. I want to summon my big angry dragon. Dagran!
With you.
You stop him from doing whatever he thinks he's doing.
I'll take you
I
down.
cast hold person.
There's one thing I love. It is just how
Here I go!
overpowered some abilities can be in a lot of game media.
Yeah.
No, stop trying to do that. Use a potion. Heal yourself.
Oh. I actually have a seat. I'm not on the wait list. I have a seat for the next D&D game next week.
Woo!
Very excited.
Be gone with you.
Play my half orc.
Get to play some Dund.
Yep.
I didn't complete it in 4 minutes. 15 seconds. Fuck you, game.
I'm not stopping here.
I'm not stopping here. Between this and watching Elementary, I'm kind of surprised I haven't just started slipping into a British accent. It's just my phone. Checking my phone.
Excellent work.
Yeah, I have to
Bandits
actively
soon fell
try
apart
to
without
not
their leaders.
slip into
Yes.
accents when I hear them long enough.
Oh
the
god,
way,
Amber
I
just
take it that you
talks
heard
in
that someone,
random
in fact,
accents sometimes.
incited
Just
the bandits to attack the
it'll
chief.
she'll say something that just
Yeah.
apparently fits
And there are
a
knights
cadence
looking
for
into the matter.
and then for like the next 20 minutes she'll just be speaking Scottish or French and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love you so much." But
Yeah, no.
I mean, to be
Mine is more of an immersion thing. It's a survival mechanism.
in fairness, her accents are good. Like they're not like, I mean, she can make it like an overplayed out Scottish accent because like she'll just
I mean,
who can't. Speaking of dick in a box,
hey. That's not where your claws go. Come here.
oh, you're gonna get cuddles.
Oh, I got another kitty.
Oh, he's so grumpy. Now, this morning he was being just
Easy.
so, like, he needed to leave the game
There you
room
go.
while I was working. He was just pawing at the door, meowing. And as soon as I opened the door, it was because Jess was up making coffee. I'm like, "Did you need to go say hi to Jess?" And we're like, "No." But that's it. He wanted to go say hi
Apparently.
to Jess. But he didn't want to be picked up. He didn't want to be touched. He just
Nope.
wanted to be in the kitchen with Jess while Jess made their coffee. My cats are fucking weird.
I don't know if he was like trying to protect me from like my milk frother or I don't know. But he's always pretty
Explain yourself.
invested in my making coffee.
That's not.
I don't know what it. Maybe he likes. Maybe it's the smell of the half and half or the creamer or something.
Maybe.
That he's just like, I am.
Damn it, that's what I meant to do today. Oh well. I have to run out tomorrow anyway. I forgot to get more coffee creamer. But apparently I have to go get fettuccine noodles and Italian bread, and I have to go pick up my mileage tracker from the library. Gonna do the library's one walk to rule them all. Very excited. And apparently, I think on the 15th of October, the halfway mark in the walk, they're having a second breakfast that we're all invited to.
He thought it was absolutely hilarious hearing his own accent coming out of a girl whiter than a beluga whale rolled in talcum powder. Growing up, I had the first house we lived at here was a very small, quiet neighborhood. It was mostly families. And so the 2 or 3 odd single residents were kind of the odd people out. Our next door neighbor right next to us on the left was this really nice guy from Nigeria. Mostly kept to himself. He didn't really have a lot in common with the rest of the neighborhood because it was all a whole bunch of white middle class families with kids and single black man. About the only thing we had in common was we're all middle class because he worked at one of the tech companies outside of RTP.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one. Because it's only been like 30 years. God damn. It has actually been kind of close to that. Not quite that close. I moved when I was in middle school. So, but we're fastly approaching 30 years since I lived there. Christ. But he had the thickest accent. To where when he was talking to any of my parents, like he never really talked to the kids. He'd say hi and wave, but like if we were having like a neighborhood barbecue or something and he was there, he would talk so slow and enunciate so clearly because his accent was so thick that no one could understand him if you just got to talking.
Yeah.
And like that was something that as a kid I'm like, ha ha, he talks. Like as an adult I'm like, Jesus Christ, he had to go through so much just to hold polite conversations with his neighbors.
Yeah.
Like no one in the neighborhood would have given him shit for it. Mostly the thing was they would ask him to repeat himself because they wouldn't understand. But like everyone in that neighborhood was super nice. I loved living there. Everyone there was just they were all really good people. So like I know they wouldn't have given him any shit for it, but just like as an adult I'm sitting here going, Christ. We as a species are exhausting.
Yeah, we are. When I was living over at
What's this? So
the townhouses, I would walk over to the convenience store on Academy on the other side of DSA. And the guy who ran it was from Benin, and we'd talk forever, because apparently it turns out he was looking for someone to help take care of his kids and thought I was a good candidate. But yeah, I got to a point where I could understand what he was saying because I talked to him often enough. But most customers he had to do that with, and I'd hear him switch over, and there was just like this slight tone of exasperation behind it, like, because not only does he have to do it, he has to do it in a customer service capacity, and it's just like, oh, honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to deal with people. Also, in case anyone ever thinks I'm a good candidate to take care of their 3 kids, I am not. Maybe for a night. A couple of nights. Not forever.
Yeah,
Can I tell you something?
don't work well with the children.
I need to give them back. I want to be a member of the village. I don't want to be the parent. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck they need that kind of paneling on the walls and ceiling.
I mean, it would be acoustic paneling.
I mean, yeah, but why?
Because no one can hear our clandestine plans over the map.
Fair.
My audio processing disorder makes it so I have real trouble understanding speech in certain accents. Yeah. I
try real hard, and those are the times when I need to, like, if I'm going to come close to understanding it with any kind of alacrity, I need to eliminate all other sensory everything, because my brain just can't process all of it at once and make sense of.
It's like I can't read and type at the same time. I can't talk and type at the same time.
I can talk and type at the same time, but the problem is at a certain point I will get so far along and I will look down and realize that I am now typing what I'm saying.
Central field cell swords, are ya? What have you dogs come?
Same also happens if I'm listening to
It is not.
music I will sometimes find myself typing some of the lyrics, not really thinking it's just there.
There doesn't seem to be any prospect of negotiation.
The barricade should.
You mustn't allow.
It won't be easy. They'll attack in.
Yeah, it is. There's something about it that, like, I don't know. It feels less like I'm alienating another person to be able to say I have issues with my hearing. Can you repeat it? Than like I can't understand you. Will you repeat it? It feels like I'm taking the onus on and trying to not be quite as alienating. But I know I mean, it's still frustrating for everybody involved. Well, it can be. I'm still just relearning that I can ask people to repeat things and they won't get mad at me about it. So I'm probably not the expert. Don't worry, guys. I'm in therapy. The proportions of people to landscape is very off.
Yeah, these are very tiny buildings.
Yeah. It's like y'all are fighting among elaborate dollhouses. Exactly. Yeah.
On my way.
Exactly. So I pulled this bottle out. I had forgotten that I had the Gentleman Jack. I had forgotten that I'd had this much of it. I'd also forgotten that somebody put googly eyes on it.
So that, I believe, was the one from Luth and Carrie.
Next time.
Oh, okay. So those googly eyes have been there for a long
For a while,
hot
yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
So far, so good. I've got it.
So apparently I have to defend my own barricade,
On my way.
which we've got enemies coming from two different sides that I have to stop. In the meantime, God really wants to just do it. Okay, I don't want to. Actually, do I want to blow that up? Explosive keg. Sure. Let's see what happens when we blow up the explosive keg.
So I'm listening to Critical Role. I'm in the middle of campaign 2 right now, and I listened
On my way.
this morning maybe to the episode where they debuted the
Take out. Choose
Fluffer Nutter maneuver, which is just taking a keg of black powder, tossing it, and shooting a flaming bolt at it. But they called it Fluffer Nutter, and it failed miserably. The toss didn't get very far, the bolt didn't hit the keg, it was just... But... Now every time there's an explosive keg, that's all I'm gonna think of, is Fluffer Nutter.
Right away.
Did you see the... Oh, I can only heal one person. Okay, that kind of sucks. The thing I sent of Sam's fresh cut grass character.
No.
So I forget what campaign it's in, but he plays a construct, and its name is Fresh Cut Grass.
Okay. Is it in a campaign or a one-shot?
I think it's a campaign, because
Okay.
there's a
Because
lot
it's not in 1 or 2, so there's only one other one left.
there's a lot to it, and because he's like, because I've seen a lot of like animated skits of this,
Oh, okay.
and of this character, and so he's like, yes, because it's the initial character introduction, so they're all in the tavern meeting, and it's like, my name's Fresh Cut, or I'm Fresh Cut Grass. I'm like, is that your name? is your name Fresh and like the last name Grass? Like I don't really have a surname that I know of. I'm just Fresh Cut Grass, and it's Sam. So it's like he's just like my creator named us after her favorite scents. It's like, oh, that's sweet. It's like there were a lot of us. I'm Fresh Cut Grass. There was oatmeal. There was apple pie. There was pussy. Which just causes everyone at the table, because he just doesn't miss a beat, but just...
That's great. I mean, just listening to Sam play Not is something else. Although they did a one-shot, a werewolf one-shot, and he apparently had been, like, had a long recording session the day before or something, and his voice was shot. And so he was, like, after playing Not and all of these, like, kind of higher register voices, he was, like, way down here. And it was really fucking weird. I didn't recognize it as his voice at first. Sam's a special human.
Yeah.
Think you can escape?
Yeah.
Shield bash him, because I don't want him to attack my caster.
Still, I want to hang out with Taliesin. Like, I just feel like he would be a lot of fun to hang out with. Yeah, you've been doing that a lot lately, Libet.
On my way.
Here, a bit of healing for you.
That's okay. I remembered it was Wednesday, and I was like, I have a plan.
Now it's only Zachariah and his
I remembered it was Wednesday, and I didn't have a plan. And now we stop fighting in the dollhouse furniture.
It's amazing that I remembered what day it was, since I had physical therapy yesterday instead of today. So that's something. I think not next week, but the week after, I see her again on Tuesday, and then it's back to Wednesdays, and my life will make sense again. Well, that's not true. My appointment schedule will make sense again.
I've got it.
Yes, that was a smart-ass reference to your anniversary tomorrow. You love me anyway.
Seize victory!
I mean, in fairness, I barely remember.
I was told that it was both of you. Nearly forgot.
I'll take you down.
And so, but it came up here. So the first opportunity to give shit about it was here. Sorry a little bit.
Be gone with you.
I'm gonna Bahamut these guys.
You know, I am concerned with the degree of frequency you can summon a god.
I'm not.
Come again.
I feel like there's
Understood.
I mean,
On my way.
yes, it has. July was not much better. The entire year, all of the last 3 years, have felt that way.
They just died.
Another one down. All according to plan.
I mean, I can also summon meteors from the sky, so like...
I mean, yeah, okay, but like,
You're no fun.
Welcome back, Cirque.
summoning divine intervention
Where grave do not lose spirit.
requires a lot. I mean, Meteor Strike does too, but like, I don't know. Welcome back, Cirque.
Right away.
Alright, I have a lot of people to kill, and I don't know the best way to do it. I think it's going to be this way.
Okay, I take back giving anybody shit about remembering what day is what, because I have been looking at the same sign at the Red Cross for the last 3 weeks now. No, 3 sessions, so it's 6 weeks. That's like blood donation center hour changed, like no more blood donations on Sundays starting this date. And in my head, I've been like seeing or hearing, understanding September 1st, but now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that sign says August 1st. So I guess the apheresis center does not hold to the blood donation schedule, but yeah, I think, yeah, I'm not allowed to talk shit anymore. Or I can, but...
I did it in under 4 minutes!
Woo!
It would seem I've grown stronger.
Woo!
Level up.
Level up. Oh my god, I saw someone has apparently taken a Kirby plush and has started doing ASDF scenes with the Kirby plush.
What?
It was, knock knock, who's there? Slam the door! And I'm just like, that poor Kirby plush.
Oh, I want to say, there was something on your face. It was pain.
They sent me away.
We'll check that.
What you doing, Loaf Cat? Look at you being... I wonder if the people can see you. Yeah, they can see part of you. If I tilt the camera down just a little bit. Look at that. Look at the little adorable Loaf Cat.
Perhaps they suffered the same fate as the traders.
No, hang on. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
We must discover what caused the death.
You're a good boy.
He's a good boy.
The unit's
You're being a
latest
good boy too right now.
is the adept.
It's like, I'm being good. Don't draw attention to me, then I won't be good. I'm gonna be an asshole.
Letting me pet you with my footsie.
As soon as the live stream's over, I'm making a milkshake. I've been craving a milkshake for a while.
I'm gonna have another bowl of beef stroganoff because apparently 2 is not enough and I'm still very hungry. I don't know what my metabolism is doing. Oh, you wanted to talk to me alone. What is it?
As before.
She has an adorable little hat.
The truth is,
That's... At that small, it is no longer a hat, it is a hat-shaped fascinator.
This should do it.
is that
I need to talk to you alone. It's gonna be a tricky problem to solve.
Alright. I can't do shield wall.
With my tiny fascinator hat.
Pressing X, it's not really giving me any details. Because I got an ability on my... on the thing.
Back in my more pin-up-y phase, I was actually making a couple of fascinators, and I don't think I ever finished either of them.
Because I got that. And it says Acts of Grace, but it's under the sword skills. But I don't-
Nice. I appreciate the pun though. That's pretty great.
Yeah. So, like, I guess I can't use that. Like, that is one thing I wish they would do. Like, so we have several different weapon classes, but everything falls under... Oh, God. Screw you.
Story of my entire life. Insufficient gold.
Okay, so it looks like the sword people fall under sword, sword and shield, and axe.
Okay, so,
So I can't
I
use-
don't know that it's necessary. I mean, attack, like just attack classes instead of
Yeah.
sword.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got mounted class, like so, like you've got mounted charge, full frontal assault, flame breath.
Okay, then
So-
the sword is just melee then.
Yeah, and like obviously, I don't think my horse user is going to be able to do flame breath. So like, I wish there was a
No,
little bit
but-
better delineation between what character, because like
You're
if
gonna
they,
try to be Rhaenyra.
I mean. But like, tell me what units can actually use it. Is there a way to do that?
I mean, I feel like that one's pretty well differentiated just
Yeah.
by virtue of horse versus dragon, but I don't know. Maybe these horses are very different than what I'm used to.
Convalescent circle. Oh. Shit, that's a useful ability. And like some of these I already have access to because they come on your equipment. Which, that's always one thing that I really liked. Final Fantasy IX had a super interesting equipment ability system. So you had abilities that you got while you had certain pieces of equipment equipped. But you could gain experience in it to where you could learn it permanently. So, like, it was do you want to get the newest piece of armor now? Or do you want to wait a little bit to finish learning the ability that's on your previous set?
Yeah. So something kind of like a feat or something?
Kind of.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, your summoner classes. Because there were two summoners in Final Fantasy IX. You had gemstones. So, like, you could get Emerald and learn Garuda. Which, it provided wind resistance. Because, you know, Garuda, that type of... You could get a Sapphire and learn Shiva, and it provided ice resistance. But, like, the times you can get access to some of these, it's like, it's not necessarily great to have ice resistance, especially when there's an accessory that could boost one of your other skills.
Yeah.
Like, you know, magic consumption down, or attack plus, or HP plus, or, you know, start with a beneficial status effect like haste or float
Yeah.
or something. So, like, it did, like, when I remember Let's playing it, it was very interesting being like, okay, I don't remember having to be like, what am I going to do with my equipment today as much as I did. Mostly because when I first played it, like, I didn't do a lot of grinding, so I didn't
Yeah.
have a lot of money. So I didn't, by the time I got to a next town, like, I didn't have a ton of money to upgrade everyone's equipment. But, you know, I'm sitting here going, I'm not going to run from fights. I'm going to actually steal things. I'm going to, you know, make better inventory decisions. And now it's just like, well, shit, I get to the next town. I've got more than enough money to completely upgrade. But is it worth it?
Like, man, if I wanted to put that much thought into it, it'd be a caster.
That's one of the games, one game that I almost Let's Played tonight, and I didn't do it because I wasn't 100% sure how far I would be able to get into the game and whether or not it would work better as a Let's Play. But Final Fantasy XII. So this was a Final Fantasy that a lot of people didn't like. It came right after Final Fantasy XI, obviously, and 11 was their first MMO.
Yeah.
So 12 was their first standalone main series title going back to, but it plays like an offline MMO. So you've got your party, you're only controlling one person at a time, you kind of have to cycle between characters, but you can set up like AI for them, which in the game is called gambits. So like if like you get gambits as pieces, and then you can kind of combine them into things. So like one piece is like HP equal to or less than 40%, do specific action, or don't do, and so like...
Basic coding.
Yeah.
If, then.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But the thing is, every character is basically the same.
Oh.
They are all... There's no defined purpose for each individual character. So like, they don't start off as a specific class. They might start off with some certain abilities, but like if you want the princess character to be your frontline damage dealer, you can build her in such a way that it is entirely possible to do that, and she will fuck some shit up.
All right, Brienne. You know how I feel about Brienne.
Well, she's also super tiny. There is a very tall bunny woman who wears the most dominatrix of high heel boots.
That's not practical.
She starts off as an archer, but like, again, it doesn't, like, the only reason why she starts off as an archer is because when she shows up to the party, she has a bow and arrow equipped. But you can immediately put anything else on her, and she's just as useful in that role. But I really want to Let's Play it, but it would take forever. But it's a lot of fun, because I remember the first time playing through it just being like... And because, like, the characters, you get what's called a license grid, or a license board, which is just all these little squares that when you unlock one, you can open the ones next to it.
Yeah.
And so, like, certain sets of armor are designed for certain job classes. Like, light armor is better for thief or archer. Heavy armor is better for, like, samurai or knight. And, like, you can equip certain abilities and certain equipment to take on that class.
Yeah.
But anyone can do it. But you have to unlock it on this grid. And so, you know, playing through the game the first time, just spending so much time grinding and just unlocking everything on everyone to be like, okay, how do I want to actually piece these people together? It was so much fun. I have FF12 on Switch. I prefer the Zodiac Age over the original. Make the character. So that's the thing. I don't like the Zodiac Age for that, because the job classes take away from that to a degree. It's like you have to, because you can only have one character as a class. Which I always loved, having two people with a very similar skill set to bounce the enemy attention back and forth to each other. Because, like an MMO, if you do too much damage with one character, the enemy's going to turn to that person. And so, like, I just bounced hate back and forth between two characters, while the other two either kept them alive through healing spells, or just pelted them at a distance with either ranged or magic abilities.
Yeah.
But they made a remake for it, where instead of having one license grid, you have several that are, like, very job-specific. I wasn't a fan of that. I was actually kind of disappointed about that. It's been taking over 10 hours. License board basically it's a skill tree, except it's not a tree. It's like a chessboard.
Skill block?
It's a chessboard, and like there is no tree. It doesn't branch out. It just kind of, it's a blob of abilities. And I love it. I love it. When you have rabbit feet, high heels are probably more practical, since your feet are naturally in that position.
I mean, you're probably not wrong. I didn't know she had rabbit feet. I've never seen her.
Well,
I don't think
she has. I think she has human feet, because those are some very human-looking high heels. If she has
perhaps
paws.
she's had the surgery that a lot of women have had to shorten the tendon in her calf. so that wearing high heels is like the natural, whatever. If women have actually done that.
Oh my god, that's painful.
Yeah.
Because that means you can't wear anything other than high heels without...
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, 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 nope. I could walk the 5 feet, or I could just teleport into this room. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna teleport.
It's about the kind you seem to...
Blah blah blah. Nobody cares.
I have.
What is it, Lieutenant Sebastian? I'm arranging matches. It's the rebels, sir. They're here. That probably one of the best Eddie Izzard bits. It's just all villains in Star Wars are British.
Yeah. Yeah. I did watch the video you sent me this morning, though. Sean Spicer.
Oh God. I think it was College Humor.
No, it was somebody else.
Someone else. But it was Sean Spicer defending supervillains. It's like, Lex Luthor was just defending America against an illegal alien. If Superman crash landed here legally, we wouldn't have a problem. I was just like trying to talk about, like, Skeletor's main antagonist is He-Man. Skeletor's pronouns are they, them. They are just a skeleton.
They are gender neutral. Trying to smash the patriarchy. I thought you liberals loved that.
And then it comes to a head. It's like the allegations of wrongdoing were completely, and it's he finds out that he's defending Bill Cosby. He's like, oh
and
God,
then just walks out.
what am I doing with my life? And just walks off. I'm like, if only he had that moment of realization in real life.
But the I don't know, the Death Star. Everyone keeps calling it a Death Star. It's an
Orbital.
What was it?
Orbital battle platform or something?
Orbital battle station. And everybody talks about its destructive power, but nobody talks about how many jobs it creates. Wow.
Like, that is...
Sean Spicer would probably actually do that.
If we fucking built a Death Star that could blow up planets, I guarantee you that's how people would spin it. Think about how many jobs
People.
People, yeah.
Republicans.
I'm afraid they're after more than that, sir. I don't know what it is, but they have a flag. I fucking love Eddie Izzard. I feel like I need to just rewatch Dress to Kill. That is probably one of the best stand-up
It is really
specials. Good. Like that, and I really did love John Mulaney's Kid Gorgeous at Radio City, and now I feel really weird watching it because
Kid Gorgeous is actually I liked Comeback.
You like Comeback Kid better?
Way better, and there's a whole lot about John Mulaney that I feel like not the worst. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people have a tendency to go in real hard for a celebrity and then find out they're problematic and and I'm like, well, yeah, he's fucking problematic. He's human. And I don't appreciate the way he's handled shit, but like, mostly I feel bad watching it, like the jokes about his wife and talking about how much he loves his wife. I don't think I could watch that and
I'd be like, oh God, this is so...
enjoy the rest of the whatever.
I married a New York Jew. Oh, and then you divorced her for Olivia Munn. Like, this just...
What I need to do is I need to dig up, and I can't remember, was it, Notorious C.H.O., I think, is the one that I was telling you about where she was like, do I have to eat your ass to get you to take out the garbage? Like, being married is like being a prostitute, but for really low rates.
There's a horse loose in the hospital.
Mom loved that. Like, that was her favorite thing.
We're here now with a man who's seen a bird at the airport. Get the fuck out of here. Everyone's seen a bird at the airport. This
There's
is a horse in
a
the
hospital. You haven't heard anything from him in a while.
And
You start to get worried.
You're like, that's
And
it's
it,
nice. But then you start to get worried. It's like,
So
I
what's doing
found
now?
the baby incubators. I'm going to smash them all with my hooves. I have really big hooves. It's like, oh, shit.
I had the best hooves.
There's a difference between
Yes.
sense and dumbass things and...
Yes, there is.
Yes. Yeah. Like, so I remember watching Robin Williams stand up when I was a kid. And then there was a lot of the, discussion about him in rehab and things like that. And a lot of people were giving so much shit. I'm like, why are you giving shit to a guy who's trying to, like... Because even at that age, I'm like, you guys are making jokes about, like, Aerosmith doing cocaine. So it's like, it's okay for rock stars, but for entertainers, it's not.
Yeah, it's okay as long as it's a joke and not a problem.
Not.
If it's a problem, it's a betrayal. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part of understanding that there is no way to, like, part of understanding that all of your faves are problematic also means all of your favorite cultural critics are also problematic, and there's no way you can get around it. You have to draw a line somewhere. Mine is usually like multiple counts of or claims of misconduct, because I believe people in lower powered positions. That's where I draw the line. But after that, like, people are still going to be problematic, and I have to be like, okay, they're a human being, and that's why hero worship is awful. Don't do it.
It's like, your heroes will let you down.
Yes. I'm a big fan of AWOL Nation's Kill Your Heroes. It's a great song. Man, I can't wait for them to go back. Actually, I think they are going back on tour again. I love AWOL Nation.
I've got 5 potions.
I got potion. I got potion. I got potion. Hey, 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 hey.
What time is it? 8 minutes. I don't have enough to start the next. So we'll just sit here and stare at.
Brienne
Oh God!
Tarth.
Look, the lighting on the jawbone is.
Yeah, somebody did a shit job on contouring. It's like they let me do their makeup.
If the men learn we can reshape our face, it's off to the nunnery. I'm not here gonna ruin some goddamn lives. I love Sailor J.
Yeah.
What I
Men
love...
love it when you do not have nostrils.
You almost kicked my controller off. It's okay. I did not mean to startle. I just had to catch that. What I love is so many people are salty about TikTok because her voice clips are used in so many TikToks and they're not credited to her. And so a lot of people are like, I've seen so many TikToks like that, and then like the comments are, give credit to Sailor J. Then, like, without her you wouldn't be fun. Like, because it's.
I mean, credit your sources, people. It's not hard. Not hard.
Buy a trebuchet or a cannon. Did you hear the whole conversation about Dad wanting to buy a cannon?
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of my family being
I feel like that's
weird,
not the first time I've heard a conversation about him wanting to buy a cannon. I believe the first one occurred when there was a pirate ship.
So they just bought a new house, and I say just. They've been there for over a year now.
A couple of years. I
Yeah.
think 2 years.
Um,
Yeah, we've had 2 Halloween fire pits.
yeah, we have. This will be the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
When they bought it, it had a giant play set in the backyard that was modeled after a pirate ship. And it was not like a small, like, cheap plastic. Like, someone built what looked like a hull of a ship.
I'm still disappointed that I did not get a picture on it.
Yeah. But Dad was like, we've got the ship, all I need is a cannon. And he kept trying to convince my mom to buy a cannon. Because there is a place that has a cannon for sale in the mountains that they go to, or had been going to fairly regularly, before the world caught fire. And yeah, it's like, the only reason why he really didn't is because he couldn't figure out how to get it home. I know how to build a trebuchet.
I used to. I built one for physics class. I don't think I could do it again.
I don't
used
think
to
I
know.
could buy or to build one currently, but I remember helping Sanchez in high school. Him and his brother were building one for the annual Pumpkin Chunkin contest. The radio station has a pumpkin launching contest during the fall, and whoever can launch it using a wood constructed vehicle. Problem is, they reinforced it with metal, so they were disqualified. But because they reinforced it with metal, they got at least double the distance than anyone else. And that was awesome and super dangerous because we had no control over it. We had no idea how far it was going to go. Oh.
I'm trying to remember what Jamie and I launched out of ours. It was like team whatever. I hate team projects. Even with people I like in high school, it was kind of like, but yeah, so we built one for physics class. We decorated matching hard hats about it.
See,
So we were launching something that was solid,
yeah.
but I can't remember what it was.
I learned never to do team projects with my friends because we would just end up talking the whole time and not get anything done, and we would fail. So I would do projects with people I didn't like for the express purpose of having as little contact as possible, being like, okay, this is the delineation of what we, like, who's doing what part of the project. Don't talk to me unless you absolutely have to. Because otherwise, I was a terrible. So I would dick off completely in school.
See, this is how you and I were different, because group projects with people I didn't like, it usually ended up being Jess's project that everybody else signed their name to.
Well, see,
When it was people that I liked, we were all like engaging with each other about the topic and very excited about it, but we all had very different approaches to how we wanted to do this project, and then nothing would get done because we're busy arguing about how to do it.
so like, any time that it turned in like people wanting us to do the additional project, like that would be one of the few times that we would actually talk and be like, okay, so and so's not doing the project. We either need to kick them out and divvy up the rest of the work, or we need to go to the teacher and be like, so and so's not pulling their weight.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the teacher would just be, okay, cool. We'll just do what you can, grade accordingly. But I had one teacher, I hated her, my 5th grade teacher. She hated me as well, but she was just like, well, that's part of the group, and you have to figure out how to get, I'm like, we've told, like, we can't make them do it. We have no authority. You have the authority. And so you're either going to fail all of us because this one person's not doing anything and we can't get them to do it, or, like, I hated that teacher. She was such a bitch. Such a bitch. One of those people who really should not have been teaching elementary school students.
That describes half of my extended family.
This is my surprise face. Chris was dicking off in school, no way. Love you, but...
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Penn. More often than not, it ended up being... There was one time a friend and I who were actually in a group together who had been arguing about how to do it actually came to school with our versions. Like, each of us showed up with a version of the project that we just decided to do on our own because we thought our way was right.
Now, see, I would have loved to have seen that. Especially, I would have loved to have been the teacher and be like, okay, so you did a group project and you did one way, but then 3 of you have this other individual project for a way that you didn't do, but you thought individually was the best. Let's walk through this process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem with getting a whole bunch of kids together that have been labeled as gifted for years and years and years, is they all think they have the one right way to do it. And there's a lot of butting heads.
No.
Speaking of adversarial competition instead of healthy competition.
Yeah. And with that, our stream is about done for this evening. So
Y'all want to hang out for a while, right? We'll keep talking about school, reliving memories. It's great.
let's discuss trauma. I mean, it's better than last week when we were just making all sorts of sexual...
We didn't stream last week. It was the week before.
The week before, it's like where it was just sexual innuendo.
Which apparently, according to my watch the other day, my average heart rate was 69. So
Nice.
It's very nice. I have a nice heart rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a fun stream. If you have the Switch, or I think it's going to be on Steam as well, DioField Chronicle, there's a demo out available for it. It is 3 hours long. It is a long demo, especially if you pay attention to the story, which we did not do tonight. I did not focus on the story at all. But it is a very fun game. I'm looking forward to the release. I believe it's coming out later this year. Not 100% sure.
Cool.
But other than that, I've got Streets of Rage and Shining Soul going up during the week. You just had a project that went out, but it's not one that's on...
Yeah, I haven't heard anything yet. I do have a piece up currently at Sweatpants and Coffee about Artemis, which, oh my god, guys, Artemis. Oh my god, guys, Artemis. Next launch attempt is on Saturday at, I think, 2:15 p.m. NASA starts streaming at 12:15. So yeah, I have a piece up about that, and I will have 3 other pieces going up in September. I may or may not be here next week, depending on whether or not I go to the concert.
No.
So maybe I'll see you, maybe I won't.
Maybe. And we're still technically in the rainy season, so it's entirely possible that I might not stream because we have random pop-up thunderstorms.
Yeah, that is true.
Because we have random pop-up thunderstorms that
all the time.
suck.
Every day.
So.
I think today's the first day we haven't had one in a while.
Yeah. So. But yeah, with that, we'll see you next week. Same hat time, same hat channel. If I do have to cancel for any particular reason, I will tweet it. So do follow me on Twitter, MarauderX, Messy Jesse.
Messy Jesse James.
Messy Jesse James. It's
so
the full.
It's my name.
Okay.
It's my illegal name. Although I am still also going under Honey Nut Malcontent. So.
I wasn't sure which one it was for a second because I'm like, I know you can change one name, but you can't change the other.
You can change both.
Oh, you can
Just
change
one
both.
You can only change more frequently. Like.
Okay.
But yeah, the other one is Messy Jesse James.
So be sure to follow. And yeah, say goodbye, Void Kitty.
Wash your hands. Wear your mask.
Get the vax.
Get vaccinated. New Omicron approved booster should start being available next week.
Omicron Persei 8.
So yeah, get your boosters. Stay safe.
Yep. Take care of yourselves.
Yeah. Do something fun.
Yeah. Do something fun. Aside from watching my bullshit.
Do something nice for yourself, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's part of taking care of yourself, too.
Have a cookie. I say that because I'm going to go make a milkshake. And if I wasn't going to make a milkshake, I do have a place that I could order cookies from. And that would be a strong contender for a second place snack. So, yeah, cookies.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.